Hi, we will be discussing the sum and product of roots of the quadratic equation. There are other interesting and useful relationships between the coefficients and the roots of quadratic equations. It is possible to determine the sum and product of roots without solving the quadratic equation. How can the sum and product of the roots of the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 be obtained without solving the equation? How can you obtain the quadratic equation if the two roots are known? These questions will have their answers while we are going through the discussion of this lesson. So stay focused. But before we proceed to our discussion, let's have your learning target. At the end of this video, you can describe the relationship between the coefficients and the roots of a quadratic equation. Here are the formula in determining the sum and product of the roots of a quadratic equation. The sum of the roots of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 is negative b over a, while the product of the roots of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 is c over a. Let's try to find the sum and product of the roots of the following equation. We have x squared plus 2x minus 8 equals 0. The quadratic equation is already on its standard form. So we will proceed on identifying the values of a, b, and c. The value of a is positive 1, the value of b is positive 2, and the value of c is negative 8. We will find first the sum of the roots. We will use the values of b and a. So the formula to find the sum of the roots is negative b over a. So copy the negative sign, the value of b on the numerator, which is positive 2, divided by the value of a, which is positive 1. Copy the negative sign, 2 divided by 1 is 2. So the sum of the roots for number 1 is negative 2. Next is the product of the roots. We will use the formula c over a. And again, we will use the values of c and a. The value of c is negative 8. The value of a is positive 1. Negative 8 divided by positive 1 is equal to negative 8. So the product of the roots for number 1 is negative 8. Next is, for number 2, we have 2x squared minus 7x minus 4 equals 0. Again, the given equation is already on its standard form. So we will identify the values of a, b, and c. The value of a is positive 2. The value of b is negative 7. And the value of c is negative 4. Again, first is the sum of the roots. We will use the value of b and a. Negative b over a is equal to, copy the negative sign. The value of b is negative 7 over the value of a, which is positive 2. Copy the negative sign. Then negative 7 over 2. Negative times negative is positive. So the sum of the roots is equal to positive 7 over 2. Next is the product of the roots. We will use the values of c and a. The value of c is negative 4. The value of a is positive 2. Negative 4 divided by 2 is equal to negative 2. Our answer is negative 2 because when we multiply negative by positive, the answer is always negative. So we have negative 2. Here is the pattern that you will use in deriving an equation out of the given roots. We have x squared minus the sum of the roots plus the product of the roots equals 0. For you to be able to have the middle term, you need to use the sum of the roots. And for the last term, you will use the product of the roots. The sum of the roots, so the first root plus the second root. And for the product of the roots, the first root times the second root. For example, we have the given roots which are 3 and 5. So the first root is 3 and the second root is 5. We will use the roots 3 and 5. Again, the pattern is x squared minus, we need to find the sum of the roots plus the product of the roots equals 0. X squared, copy the negative sign or the minus sign. The sum of the roots, we will add 3 and 5. Bring down the plus sign. The product of the roots, we will multiply 3 and 5. So we have 3 times 5 equals 0. Bring down x squared. Bring down the negative sign. 3 plus 5 is 8. Bring down the positive sign or the plus sign. 3 times 5 is 15 equals 0. X squared, negative times positive is negative. 8x plus 15 equals 0. Just add x on the middle term. So our final answer is x squared minus 8x plus 15 equals 0.